Hello, friends, loved ones, amazing badasses. Hope you're all fabulous and amazing on this fine, very warm Thursday. I've got all the windows open. I can really feel spring in the air. It makes me very, very happy, even when I have fluffy hair. Washed my hair this morning after going to the gym and hello, fluff zone. It's just really fabulous and wow. It'll be fine when it settles down. So good morning and welcome to the Coffee Run Live. What I wanted to chat with you about today is the actual fact that the burden of results is placed directly on you as a client, not on the mentor. Now, there are some things that I guess what that statement can kind of, even though it's lovely outside, my legs are a bit chilly. I've got a blanket and they just got caught under the wheels of my chair. So this statement can sometimes be like, oh, hell no. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why that's not true or why it is true and whatever else. And here's my take on it. The mentor has the responsibility of providing the training, the support, the accountability, the mastery, the whatever it is that you have sold. That burden of deliverance is on you wholeheartedly for that. But the burden of results is based on the client and their ability / willingness in terms of actually executing and implementing stuff. Now, what I was thinking about, I was pondering, I was thinking this morning actually as I was drying my hair because it takes freaking forever. I was pondering different mentors that I've had over the years and a mentor that I worked with for an extended period of time in the more recent part of this business, so in the last few years. I was thinking about the relationship that I'd had with her and it was really amazing and powerful and I learned so much, right? And the results that I got as part of that relationship were different to the results that I've had with a mentor, more recently or previous. The results are always different based on whoever it is that I'm working with. Now, that's not their fault, right? Now, I was thinking about how sometimes people might say to you, oh yeah, I bought your program, but it didn't work, or I didn't get results, or this didn't happen, or, whatever, where the reality actually is for the 99.9% of the results that you will get are actually based on you and what you do. Now, if you're trying to make yourself fit into a particular format, then, and if that's not right or natural or aligned, then the chances are is that you're probably not going to get the results that you really want, right? You're probably not going to get the outcomes that you're really looking for because you're trying to be someone that you're not. Yeah, even though you think that you might want that thing. And maybe it is a growth area, but you can treat it a bit more like an experiment versus the be all and end all. So I was thinking, the reason I was thinking about this, I was like, I'm in such a great place at the moment. I feel like I'm in total flow zone, high vibe, creative, fun, fabulous. I feel physically fit. I actually feel physically better than I've ever felt, I think, before. I feel really healthy. I feel like I'm zinging in all areas of my life, right? Just so incredibly grateful for everything. And I was reflecting back on what the journey, because it is a freaking journey, right? What the journey's been like over the last 10 years since I've really actively been growing this business and the one that I had before that. And it's kind of there's been so many different people that have come along the way. There's been so many different mentors that I've worked with, and I'm really grateful for every one of them. And I was thinking about how, some people it can seem like they've just grown this stuff they've grown their businesses, grown their success, like they're an island, just all on their own. And often there's a cast of thousands behind the scenes that are actually actively helping them, promoting them, training, teaching, guiding them. And I think that's the key, the guiding them to different things that they want to do. But where the responsibility comes in, and this is the key for me, if you've got a client who tells you, this is what I want to achieve, right? and it's something that you can help them with. And then you go and do your piece, you deliver it to the best of your ability, you train them, you teach them, you guide them, you help them, you motivate them, you inspire them, you educate them, you do whatever it is that you do, support them, cheer squad them, do all of that, kick their ass, whatever. And they might not get the result. It's not based on them, it's based on you and what you said that you wanted, right? So for instance, here's what happened. So I thought that I really wanted to do, I've had quite a number of corporate clients over the years, and I thought, you know what, to me, it's really easy work. I thought it's easy work, it's high paid, it's really valuable for them. A lot of social media people, so I'm talking like assistants, virtual assistants, social media managers, they're employees. They don't often understand, and this is a very blanket statement, and if you're a social media manager running your own business and you're providing massive value, I'm not talking about you, right? You guys are awesome. I'm talking about social media managers who are employees. Okay, so what they're instructed and trained to do is to manage social media, but their objectives are not necessarily about, and I'm not talking about consultants, okay? I'm talking about employees. So their objective is to essentially drive engagement, like however you decide to manage engagement. They're looking at volume of posts, they're looking at just getting more and more out there, right? So whereas a business owner, if you're using social media, you've got to drive a result, okay? So that's that. Now, I was doing a lot of corporate work, and I was like, well, because it's not my business, and I know how to I know how to drive revenue. I know how to build social media platforms. I know how to leverage it so that you can actually get a financial return on investment. Many social media managers as employees don't know how to do that. So I was like, this is really freaking needed in corporate land because they don't understand this way of marketing, right? They don't get it. A lot of corporate businesses think that it's you've got to have it, but it's not, it's kind of like this mystical unicorn that's not ever really visible or touchable, right? So I thought, right, this makes complete sense to me. I'll build up the consumer market and I'll build up the corporate, like my corporate profile, my corporate market. And it was a legitimate goal, and it was legitimately what I thought that I wanted. And so I got some more corporate clients through, and I started to kind of, based on, like I hired a mentor who was really amazing, like freaking brilliant woman in this realm. And I was like, okay, I can start to do more of this. I can start to possibly do more speaking engagements and things like that. So when I said to her, this is what I want, she absolutely delivered on what I said I wanted, right? So you might see this has panned out in your thing. She delivered to me what I said I wanted. Now, for me, in terms of the way that I tend to measure results, which is revenue, joy, all of that kind of thing, the results that I achieved personally in my business, like it didn't work out the way that I thought that it would, right? That wasn't based on her though and her teaching. It was all on me based on what I said that I wanted. Okay, so this is where the burden of the result comes back to you. Now, I love this woman. I think she's freaking amazing. Her name's Janine, absolutely badass and brilliant at what she does, the way that she does it. And I learned so freaking much and grew so much throughout being a mentoring client of hers. And I think that it was really interesting because I was really, I wanted to try some stuff. Right? And I think you guys might see this as well with some of your clients. Like they might not know really definitively, clearly, and certainly what they want. And I don't mean like certainly isn't like I certainly want this, but from a real place of right, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is how I want to achieve it and do it. Can you help me? And I wasn't like that. I was just like, okay, cool. I think that I can make this work. I can grow this and I can grow this. And to be honest, I just didn't want to work. I thought that working with more professional corporate styles of businesses, I thought that would eliminate some of the interesting people that had come through my business over the in a period of time. So there was a couple of years where things were really kind of interesting, and we're not working the way that I want. And I had some kind of questionable people come through, which was certainly on me, but just really kind of interesting, I suppose. And like I thought that it would be easier, right? And we all know that there's no easier way. And what I really learned, what I really took away from all of that time was that you've really got to come back to knowing who you are and what you want. And then finding someone, a mentor that will help you to get that, right? And help push you forward and lead you forward. But you've got to be really clear and very certain in saying, right, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is the outcomes that I want. Can you help me get there? Because if you're wishy-washy about that, then it makes their job harder. You guys see it with your clients, right? If you've got someone who's like, oh, I think I want more freedom in my life. Okay, great. What does that look like? The way that you're going to help them get more freedom in their life and in their world is different to if they say, well, we assume that it's different, compared to if they say, well, I just really need a process for learning how to do X, Y, Z. Do you know what I mean? Let me know that this is making sense, because I think it's a really interesting thing. You put shit in, you're going to get shit out, right? If you're wishy-washy going in, then you're likely to get wishy-washy stuff going out. You've really got to be very clear and know what you want, how you're going to do it, or not how you're going to do it necessarily, but what you want, and be very clear. And I really also appreciate that sometimes you don't know that. And so I think that there's also this thing that we've really got to, as mentees, right, as people who buy mentoring services. I still buy mentoring services. I don't ever want to stop buying mentoring services. I think it's really crucial and critical to our own personal growth. Like, we can't always see the forest for the trees. I think it's really crucial and critical. But I think we've got to be, as mentees, we've got to be as clear and as certain as we can be, but also be willing to experiment. Right? Like, if you think that the grass is greener, then there's nothing saying or nothing stopping you from going and investigate and trialing it and experimenting and see what comes up and see what happens. And you know what? It'll either work or it won't. You'll either like it or you won't. You'll either get results that you expect or you won't. You will get a result. You will get an outcome. It may not be the way that you think that it will look. But here's what I learned. For me, the thought of working and trying to make myself really professional in order to appeal to a corporate client, it just goes against everything. I tried it for a while because I thought that would be the easiest way, most simplest way for me to be able to work my area of mastery, being social media and visibility. And I thought that it would make my life easier and make my marketing easier and make the delivery easier and basically not attract assholes. Like, that's really what I was looking at. And you guys are not assholes, right? I mean, you're far from that. But I guess it's a little bit like, once bitten, twice shy, that song. And for me, we have, again, like, this is potentially going to oversharing land, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. So, because I think it's really important. So going back a couple of years ago, and I've spoken about this before, but going back a couple of years ago, I had a group of people that came into programs of mine, didn't do the work, demanded refunds after getting to the end of the program, decided to threaten me with a class action and going to the media, drag myself and my family's name through the mud, and if I didn't refund them their money. And I was just like, no, I haven't done the wrong thing here. I'm actually not doing that. That's a bunch of bullshit. It's just not even happening. Like, you've been through the program, you've consumed all the stuff, like, you've done all the thing. It's like going into a restaurant, eating all of the food, licking your fucking plate clean, and then going, that was really shit. I'm actually wanting a refund. Like, I'm not willing to pay. Like, what the actual fuck? So anyway, it knocked me about, and this is one of those cases where it's like the few can like mess shit up for the masses, right? It really knocked my confidence. It really knocked my resolve. It really knocked my certainty. And so this happened a couple of years, like 2 years ago now. And I guess that's where it was like, okay, well, like I've got these people coming through. Like what the fuck happened? Like how did that even happen? I've got these people coming through who told me the things that they wanted. I knew I could deliver on what they wanted, right? And this ties into the point of today's video. I delivered what they said they wanted, and then they decided that it wasn't what they wanted. And so then they blamed me for, like, it's ludicrous when I say it like that, but that's actually what happened. Like, they blamed me for things not working in the way that they thought that they wanted it to, but, you know, number one, they didn't do the work. But the second piece of all of that was also that, you know, I gave them exactly what they said they wanted. You go to a restaurant, you order a steak, they give you a steak, and you're like, no, sorry, that's not what I want the fish. Like, what the fuck? Like, you get what you order, right? So... and this is where I was kind of like looking for a different way / a better way for me to be able to work my magic, for me to be able to operate in my area of mastery, for me to do the stuff that I really love and enjoy doing, which is, you know, working in this capacity and helping people. And it's just, you know, that's really what I wanted. And that's why I started looking at, wow, you know, maybe if I'm looking at more corporate people, maybe if I'm looking at, like for me, it was like, well, maybe I'll do the work for them rather than leaving them to do the work, because that way, number one, I know it's done and I know it's done properly, and I know then that it will generate a result that I've promised. And so that was great. But I guess where the disconnect came then for me is that, like, I don't want to be that professional corporate suit person. I don't want to be like that. I want to be able to put all of my words and my ramblings out into the world. I want to be able to do live streams like this where I've scrubbed my face within an inch of its life, got fluffy hair, wearing a t-shirt, and you know, talking about the things that are really important and things the way that they come out. I don't want to have to always be so structured and so vigilant and so like, I want to say vanilla. Which is not even necessarily what I mean, because I know a lot of corporate people and a lot of people that do corporate work are the opposite of vanilla. But I just felt like it was kind of like clipping my wings and restricting me from really doing things in the way that I find the most natural, the most awesome, right? But I was willing to try it. And I guess that's where the burden of results come back down to me, right? If I say to someone, this is what I want, then, you know, the only way that I'm going to get that is by doing what they say. Do you know what I mean? Let me know that that makes sense and that you're with me. The obvious caveat to all of this is that your stuff works, that you have an area, or that you've got an element of mastery in what you're doing, because otherwise, you know, that's just shit, right? That doesn't even work. You're selling snake oil, or like you're selling something that you probably shouldn't be. Okay, so all of this is on the assumption that you can deliver on what you've actually sold. So, you know, if somebody orders a steak, you've got to be able to deliver that steak and then not come back and say, oh, by the way, sorry, we ran out of steak. Here's your fish. I hate fish. I don't want the fucking fish. I want the steak that I ordered. We were away recently for roller derby. And I was on the phone to the Indian restaurant to order some food in, and I was like, okay, I'll have butter chicken, 4 serves of butter chicken or whatever it was. And they said, oh, sorry, we're out of butter chicken. Okay, great. Can I have the Madras chicken or whatever it was? And oh no, sorry, we're out of that. And I'm like, okay, so what chicken dishes do you have in? Oh, sorry, we've run out of chicken. I'm like, for fuck's sake. She said, oh, but we can give you fish. I'm like, I don't want fish. So that's my rant on that. You've got to be able to sell like you've got to be able to deliver on what it is that they're saying that they want. Otherwise, you refer them to someone who can. So number one, as a mentee, the key takeaways for you. As a mentee, you are responsible for your results. You are responsible for being very clear and very certain and very articulate about you telling a mentor or a prospective mentor about what you want and you need, okay? Because otherwise they're going to say, yep, I can absolutely do that for you. This is what it looks like. As the mentor or as the coach or as the leader or as the trainer or the healer or whatever, you've got to be able to absolutely go back and say, and this is where like your responsibility lies. Yes, you're telling me that this is what you want. Yes, I can deliver on that. or you know what, this is what you're telling me that you want. I think you need to go and have a look at this person, or you've got to go do this thing first, or go and have a look at that, right? So we've both got 100% responsibility, mentees and mentors, in the buying equation and in the consultative equation that goes on when you're looking at buying and or delivering. So there you go. But essentially, you're the one that has to do the work. You buy a gym membership, you're the one that has to go to the freaking gym. Like the gym, your muscles aren't just going to build yourself if you don't go, right? So that's where that burden lies. It lies with you, not on the person that's providing the service, so long as they can deliver and make it available. If they don't open their doors, then that's on them. But you've got to front up and do the work. There you go, everybody. I trust that that's helpful. Have a really amazing day. I will chat with you all tomorrow about all of the fabulous things because it will be fabulous and fun Friday. Get out there, go help some people, be visible, have fun doing it, and remember, the world is ready for your brand of awesome. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaways from today's coffee run, not just takeaway coffee, but what your biggest insights have been from today, and that this has been helpful. That'd be really awesome to hear. All right, see you everyone. Have a great day. Bye.